According to Women Health, 62 million women are in their childbearing years, ages 15 to 44. About 70% of them are at risk of unintended pregnancy. Birth control should be made free to all, as well as be available to all without parents' approval. Throughout this speech, I'm going to talk about what types of birth control are available to women, what has been involved with making birth control available, and why birth control should be free. First, I'm going to talk about what types of birth control are available to women. There are many types of birth control available for women. The most common types of birth control are condoms, birth control pills, the IUD, and the shot. The most common and most affordable forms of birth control are the condoms and the pill. The pill is free with most insurances and is also free at any Planned Parenthood, and condoms are free at Planned Parenthood. The pill is a daily pill that is full of hormones that control the function of the ovaries and the uterus. According to Planned Parenthood, the pill is safe, affordable, and effective if you always take the pill on time. Although this form of birth control may be affordable, many others are not. The next form of common birth control is the IUD. The IUD is another name for intrauterine device. According to Washington School of Medicine, many can't afford the cost of IUDs and implants, which can cost more than $800 and may not be covered by insurance. This form of birth control, although effective, is costly, leading to issues when it comes to women being able to obtain this form of birth control. Another form of birth control that is common is the shot. The birth control shot is given every 3 months and works the same as the pills in order to prevent pregnancy. According to Kids Health, each injection, which is 3 months worth of birth control, costs between $0 and $150. This injection can become very costly, making it difficult for women to get. Second, I am going to talk about what has been involved with making birth control available to women. There are processes and rules that lead up to the approval of contraceptives that can be difficult. All forms of birth control started by being approved by the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA then approves the birth control, agreeing that it is safe for teens and young women's bodies. Women have made great strides to get where they are with the ease to access birth control. According to National Women's Law Center, we've made great strides in access to birth control, like getting insurance plans to cover it thanks to the health law. For a long time, women have fought to get rights for obtaining birth control, and all of those efforts may be going backwards. Women went from being able to only obtain birth control when married to being able to obtain it whenever necessary. Women were finally recognized as being able to make decisions for their own bodies after a long time. According to Child Trends, 22% of sexually active females use some form of birth control. If laws change and women can no longer obtain birth control for free, many women will be left to use nothing, which can be dangerous and lead to unplanned pregnancy, which in turn may lead to higher abortion rates. Lastly, I am going to be talking about why birth control should be free. Today, birth control is available to most teens for free in the form of pills. Although these pills are available to most teens in most states, there are some things that can make getting birth control difficult. Birth control a lot of the time needs to be prescribed to you, which requires information being put on your medical history, as well as parents may be informed. This problem can lead to many issues. Some issues include majority of teens are afraid to ask their parents due to most parents getting angry and assuming things, leading them to feel the need to hide this. This one problem then leads to many others. For example, trying to get away with getting birth control secretly and unplanned pregnancy. Teens should feel comfort when talking to their parents, and in situations like these, sadly, it turns into an argument and leads the teen to become distant with their parents. If birth control is not easily accessible, then this is likely to push teens to have unprotected sex. With teens having unprotected sex, they are more likely to contract STDs and even get pregnant. This may lead to an increase in teen pregnancy, which in turn is most likely to lead to an increase in the number of abortions performed. In an article by Planned Parenthood, they explained that abortion rates have gone down due to the increase in long-term reversible birth control like the IUD. This article is proof that by teens having access to birth control and the amount of unplanned and unwanted pregnancies decreasing since laws that have made it easier for women to get birth control have been enacted. According to the ACLU.org, some state and federal lawmakers want to take away teens' ability to protect themselves. The people who believe that this ability should be taken away think that this is the solution to stopping teenage sex, when in actuality, it might make the situation worse. ACLU.org continued to explain that studies show that preventing teens from getting contraceptives unless they tell their parents won't stop them from having sex. Teens have the tendency to do things that they are not supposed to, and if the only thing keeping them protected is taken away, then it is most likely to lead to a higher percentage of teen pregnancy as well as a higher percentage of STDs, both of which are bad. Teens and young women should have the right to choose when and if they wish to take birth control, and if this right is taken away, it may lead some teens to self-destruct due to stress and anxiety. Throughout this speech, I talked about some types of birth control that are available to women, what has been involved in making birth control widely available, and why birth control should be free. Birth control should be free and available to girls of all ages without parental consent. According to Women's Health, women typically use contraceptive for more than a third of their lives. Having safe and effective options is important.